Hello, folks. How you doing? Okay. I I often hear people talking about religion. Sometimes they debate religion, like comparative thing. What religion is better than this, or which one's the best, and so forth and so on. And people who have these discussions about whose religion is best don't know what they're talking about. Clear and simple. So we'll go with mythology, religion, and the natural facts. You see, when you discuss the natural facts, you're not speaking in defiance of nature. Okay. So now, mythology, as I said, is derived from natural facts. It's not something just conjured up out of smoke. It is based on natural facts. Okay? And religion is derived from mythology. The Kimite mythology is the mother of all religions. So now, in view of the natural facts, what facts are we talking about? We're talking about how the ancient humans lived. You can't get any more natural than that. What these people did in their daily lives, hundreds of thousands, a million years ago. What they did became the later mythology. So we see then that if the mythology came from what these folks did, then the mythology is derived from the natural facts. Because what these folks did to survive was natural. They survived off of nature. Their objective was food and drink. That was it. That was their survival. Like our survival today is food and drink, water. So now, we see that the ancient humans, okay, didn't have a cerebral cortex. They didn't have the top part of the brain. Okay. And therefore, they weren't really thinkers, but they were doers, you see. More or less on, let's say, instinct. They had a memory. Okay, they had an imagination. They didn't have a language. They didn't have a verbal language. So they, when it came to communicating, they communicated in like a sign language. You see, well, their sounds were very basically like an ooch and ow or whatever, you know. But they learned how to mimic the animals. Made animal sounds. Some of the hunters and gatherers who are here living today make animal sounds too, even though they have a language. When they go hunting, they have the language of hunting, the language of the hunter. In other words, they make sounds like animals when they go hunting. Well, it makes sense. Therefore, when they went out hunting and they made a sound like an animal, like the animal they're hunting, the animal would be attracted to them. Well, that happens today with hunters like duck hunters. Or a duck hunter go out on the lake, you know what I mean? And he'll make the sound of a duck. Or he have a little instrument he put in his mouth to go quack, quack, attracting the ducks. It's the same thing people did a million years ago. They made the animal sounds to attract the animal in range of their bow shot, their bow and arrows, or spears. You see, these animal sounds, okay, we can put them in the category of the natural facts. The humans simply mimic the animals. Now, the emblems, tools, instruments they used to survive, okay, eventually found themselves in the mythology of the Kemites. Because the people who lived, let's say, around Central Africa, etc., they in time began to migrate. Many of them found their way up to the lower Nile Valley, where Egypt is today, the land of the Kemites. Well, this took thousands of years. They didn't just sit out and say, well, we're going to the land of Cam. No, they didn't even know it was there. People were just moving out, looking for better farmland, better grazed land, and so forth and so on. Natural catastrophe could at times force people to migrate, just like it does today. Okay. So anyway, we see now where the natural facts came from. Because those folks, when they migrated, they took their rituals, their tools, their way of life. They took it with them. And these are the natural facts. These are the natural facts from which the mythology is derived. Oh, like I say, they took their rituals and whatnot with them too. Okay. Yeah. So now, when these people reached the land of the Kemites eventually, a lot of them stayed there. But the priests, okay, would take and check out their emblems and so forth and so on, their rituals, the way of life, and write it down. Just wrote it down. These later became the mythology of the Kemites. And people would come at different times, you know. They would bring information to how they lived, how their ancestors lived. You see, the natural fact. So now we see that some of the Kemite netters, they call them gods. Netter was translated into the word God by some folks. So God is really a translation from the word netter. And really, the two words are really, the functional aspect of the two words is altogether different. But anyway, it was done, okay? So now, we see that in the Kemite mythology, that the gods, the netters, have truncated heads. Like, the top of the heads wasn't there. Now, these are statues and drawings, you know, chiseled into the walls and stuff. They didn't have the top part of the brain. Remember, the earliest humans didn't have a cerebral cortex. So now the Kemites, okay, represented this in their gods. Okay. Well, the gods have truncated heads, really. They might have a headdress on or something, you know, identifying a certain tribe or something like that. But then, when it comes to the androgeneity of the most earliest humans, the goddesses of the ancient Egyptians are often seen with one tit. One. None here. Because this is a sign of androgyneity. A creature or person who is both male and female in one. You see. So they brought the natural facts with them. They put it in their mythology, along with many other things, rituals, etc. And these are the natural facts upon which today's religions were birthed, or how they came along. The natural religion, the religions of today, were derived from the mythology of the Kemites. When the Kemites moved out of Africa, migrated, they took their mythology with them, and this mythology spread all over the world in the form of religion. That's where religion came from. It is derived from the natural facts. You see, it was derived from the natural facts. It was derived from the mythology, which represents the natural facts, because it itself was derived from natural facts. You see, there's no hocus pocus. Wasn't nobody blowing smoke in their eyes, like what happens to the folks of the present generation. Those folks, they saw clearly. Okay, so now we have an idea where religion came from, really, the natural facts. No defying nature, it simply came from the natural facts. Okay, folks, thank you very much, and I'll be getting back with you again with another mythology, with another talk about mythology, another video, etc. Okay, folks, I talk to you later. Goodbye and have a good one.